Well, we are extremely pleased to be there today for a little Soul Tea and Alchemy. And we are very appreciative of you for bringing forth your question. Where would you like to begin?
Well, my question concerns career choice and the fact that I started off my career in a very sort of head-based, money-driven direction, and that my primary focus was basically to make money, and I definitely compromised my integrity on occasion, and it was, not really sort of heart or soul based. And then 20 years or so ago, I had more of a kind of spiritual awakening, which gave me the direction, a different career direction that was heart and soul based, and I pursued that for quite some years, and it wasn't in any way lucrative. And then the same happened again with something that was also very inspired. It felt like it sort of came to me as a message, and to pursue a business idea and concept. But that has also come to a point where I'm having to accept that it's not financially viable after some years of trying very, very hard with it. So I feel like I've sort of become full circle, and that I'm probably going to have to just then get a job and just do something that's not heart and soul based. And I kind of feel somewhat disappointed, let's say, with all of that. And so my question is, why did I get the messages to pursue those other ventures, and why did they not prove to be more lucrative? And which direction should I go in from here?
Excellent. Yes. Well, dear one, what we want you to get is that those ideas were inspired. That passion, that initial spark when you started those ventures was very much alive in you and was very much pulling you forward to create those beautiful things that you brought into the world in both of your businesses. And what we want you to get is there are many reasons that people are inspired to pursue what they pursue in the realm of following their heart with their work. And while this may sound a little harsh, sometimes you are inspired to follow something that is, in the bigger picture, part of your soul journey in this lifetime, to play out the feelings of disappointment and not being worthy of receiving support, of receiving love, of receiving money for doing what you love and being yourself in the world. So you, dear one, have in your broader soul perspective for this life experience, your oversoul wanted to live out the experience of butting up against yourself, not feeling enough, feeling that disappointment, and experiencing that poverty consciousness that is a result of a poverty of self-love. Scarcity of ability to truly love yourself. So we really want you to get this from broader perspective, because there is a happy ending to all of this. And so we really want you to hear this as we're saying it. Just breathe this in, dear one. So you have lived other lifetimes where you have had way more than enough materially. You've been supported. You've played roles of not being the nice guy. You've played roles of being more of the what looks like the powerful one, that often comes from disempowerment, that may have taken advantage of others. And in this lifetime, part of your role was to sort of experience that, and as in your younger years, where you were working a material job, specifically with the money focus, which caused you to do some things that maybe weren't in your coming from the heart as much as they were coming from the drive for profit. And you had that beautiful shift into the spiritual realm and into wanting to bring into the world that which was in your heart. So when you bring into the world that which is in your heart, without coupling it with loving what is in your heart, loving who you are, seeing your own worthiness, it leaves your heart very vulnerable, very fragile, and it keeps you in a loop of not being able to be paid for doing what you love because you don't feel worthy of having the world look at these beautiful things that you've created. And we know that you have created things you are, that you have put into the world. And so it's vulnerable when you are one that has a creation, where you make something or you write something and you put it out into the world. It causes you to be judged by others because they're judging this item, this thing, this creation. Like all artists, musicians, creators, you create something that comes out of your heart, you put it into the world, and if you are not filled to the rim from within with self-love and self-confidence, then bit by bit you get chiseled away from the outside by what other people's opinions of your product, your creation, look like. They start to chisel away at you, and so it sort of develops a system of not feeling valuable, of being self-critical as you experience judgment from others, looking at people's reviews and being in fear of a bad review. And what so many creatives experience is that the outside criticism. And then you couple that with now you've based your entire livelihood on a creation that's putting your heart out there. And if you're not filled from within with your own self-love and self-confidence, it's like you're a little rubber boat out at sea with waves and storms, and then sometimes the storms part and you feel like, I'm going to be okay, I'll be okay, and it's sunny out for a while and you think things are going well, and then the storms come again and you're just thrown around on the waves, and it feels very rough and it feels very hard. Is this all landing with you?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Excellent. So what we want you to get, dear one, is you have completed this journey with feeling unworthy and disappointed. You no longer have to live that lesson out, is what we want to say. Your time of living it out, you don't have to do it anymore. You can, and you may still do it. You may still live from a place of undeservability and disappointment, but you don't have to. Your soul has really had the fullness and the richness of that experience. So you have a choice, dear one, of really being at a point of standing up for yourself, of turning your focus inward onto your heart and putting all of that energy that you've been putting outward into your business and outward into, I gotta survive. We would encourage you to turn that energy around to your heart and say, the most important thing right now that I can do is find ways to start to see what a beautiful human I am, to start to see how intelligent I am, how brilliant I am, how lovable I am. For me, not for anybody else. But for me, I need to start seeing, I want to start seeing the real power of who I am, the real love of who I am. And as you start to do that, as you start to go inward and really boost up your own abundance from within, your own appreciation of yourself, your whole reality around you is going to start to change. And when you, so we really want you to we're just planting that seed there with you here now. We're planting the seed now in you of opening up to really seeing who you are and becoming empowered from within, feeling your power from within, and loving, doing some deep work in your own worthiness, your own self-love, your own self-value. And as you go there, as that void starts filling up in you and filling up and filling up, then as your inspired ideas come in, you have an inspired idea coupled with deep self-love and self-confidence and overflow and the frequency of abundance and prosperity. And whatever you put out in the world will bring back to you a reflection of your own self-worth that you feel about yourself. It will reflect back to you the prosperity and abundance of who you are that you see and acknowledge from within. But right now, that has been whacked down completely, so you don't feel that from within yourself. But this is your work right here, right now, is to experience that shift within yourself. And so when you couple inspiration and inspired ideas and following your heart and doing your soul's work with deep fulfillment and empowerment from within, that is the ultimate combination of the universe wrapping itself around you and supporting you financially, materially. Whereas having inspiration, but being in a frequency of disappointment, or not this again, another, I'm never gonna, you can see how that frequency is not a money generating frequency.
Right.
So what we would say to you, or as you are moving into this next chapter, first and foremost, we would label this chapter the chapter of self-love, of loving who I am, writing my own script of how I came to love myself, of how I came to discover who I really am, as the love that I am, as the powerful king that I am, as the generous-hearted, prosperous man that I really am. And we would encourage you, because we know that you are a script writer, we would encourage you to write your story. Write your story of what's next in your movie, where the hero starts to stand up a little taller, starts to feel a little prouder, starts to find his own heart. Because in this movie, the hero has already gone through all the pitfalls and has experienced that hero's journey of being knocked down, and now he's ready to rise up. So if you allow yourself to start this next chapter not from the place of what am I going to do next, how am I going to get out of it, which we know is all there, but that's a mental, that's a how thing, that's a head thing. What we would encourage you to do first is drop into your heart and do your heart work as you are transitioning into whatever is unfolding for you in your business or other career world. And we would encourage you to really take on scripting your story of how you discovered your heart and seeing yourself as the hero in this story. And then we really want you to get that. We really want you to get the power of you scripting yourself as the hero in your story, because we don't believe that you have. We don't believe that you've seen yourself as the hero in your own life. We believe that you see yourself more as a side character, not as important, not sort of out in the wings and just sort of bobbling along unseen. And we really want you to see yourself as the hero in your life who is so worthy of fulfilling his destiny in this lifetime. And we will say, dear one, you have a beautiful destiny that you haven't allowed yourself to see. But there is much richness, much wealth, much philanthropy, generosity, and deep fulfillment that is coming in this movie for you. And now is that turning point where it's about going in and finding the hero within you who is ready to experience the true turning point in the movie, where your audience has been they're on the edge of their seats. They're on the edge of their seats. They've watched, their heart has been bleeding with you, watching you work so hard and create such beautiful things and not have money and be on the edge of not wanting to be here. And then they're just watching because they know, they see the power and the beauty and they see the hero within you. And so it's time for you to see the hero within you. And as you do that, dear one, your situation is going to change very quickly. We promise you that. That's the work right there.
Okay. Wow, that's very powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, that feels good to hear. I can't help feeling like that I was sort of almost like predestined to fail with these two ventures, given that if that was my soul's agenda to experience the feelings of sort of failure and disappointment, that I was kind of set up to fail, which I've kind of had an inkling about those things anyway, that feeling, and yet a strong drive to just push through and do what I was doing, even though neither venture was logical, and friends and others who would see what I was doing would say, well, this is not practical, and yet I pushed through anyway. But as I say, it does feel like almost like a little bit of a cruel setup to fail. But even if that is the case, that's the past, and I hear what you're saying about the now and the future.
Yes, and we get the feeling of a cruel setup, and we will say that at any point in your journey, you had the ability to shift into a different reality with what was going on, but you needed to get to this point here, where you're really getting this, and you hadn't gotten to that point before. So everyone has their broader soul experience that they want to live out in each lifetime, and so you've been living out that broader experience. And we will say this chapter that you're in right now with your business has not been defined yet in terms of success or failure, and those words are have many different meanings, success or failure. But what we want you to get is you can change your trajectory in any moment, and that's important to know, because you haven't been the victim all along. You always have a choice. You always have had a choice. And at the same time, we want you to take some pressure off of yourself in terms of everything that you have lived up until this point was what you needed to go through to get you to this point, and you have not failed, dear one. There's been no failure in any of it. Expansion, 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 expansion. All of it has been expanding you into pulling that slingshot back, tighter, 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 so that you can have that soul propelling forward of experiencing the breakthrough of the bigger experience that you wanted to have in this lifetime. So you're right on track. Nothing's gone wrong. And some people choose to have that blossoming happen later in life. And there is still much life ahead of you. We will remind you of our dear Louise Hay, who didn't start Hay House Publishing until she was in her 60s. And then she changed the world. So there is so much ahead of you, dear one. You have no clue. You have no clue what's ahead of you. And when you get to those places ahead of you that you are going to enjoy very much, you will look back and appreciate that you lived all that you did, because your appreciation of what's to come is going to be so delicious and so compassionate and so filled with human heart because of the struggle that you lived for so long. So what you are creating next is going to bring so much good to the world because of your decades of struggle. You have a whole, the compassion in your heart is huge for the human experience. Huge. And that is going to serve you so well in bringing forth what's next for you, dear one. Go big. Really go big here. Go big in your love. Go big in your heart. Go big in your hero's journey. Please, go big. You didn't come here to play small. You just thought that you did. But you're not a side character. You're the hero in this movie.
All right. Okay. Powerful stuff.
Yeah. Breathe that in, dear one. Just breathe it in.
Okay.
See yourself differently. We really want you to see yourself as the main character who is about to have a really big surprise in a really good way. We really want you to give yourself credit for who you are and see yourself as the hero and do that self-love work, dear one, because it's going to be worth it. We promise you that.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be hanging out with us.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Japanese.
Yes. There's so much love here for you, dear one. Mm-hmm. And with that, we look forward to chatting again soon.